Welcome to the NJCAA Sports Page. I'm Robert Williamson. We are down to seven unbeaten teams in the NJCAA, 6 of which reside in the top 10. Speaking of the top 10, here are the games from last weekend. Number 1, East Mississippi taking on Northwest Mississippi. EMCC, known for its offense, and rightfully so, has a defense to match. The Lions registered their 4th consecutive shutout and now have gone 18 quarters without allowing a point, blanking Northwest Mississippi 49-0 to claim their 4th straight MACJC North Division title. In addition to keeping Northwest Mississippi's points off the board, the EM defense directly contributed to points being on the board as William Lloyd returned a Kyle Morgan pass, 25 yards. The pick 6 was one of 3 interceptions thrown by Morgan. Northwest was held to 6 first downs, 1 of 13 third down conversions, and 142 total yards of offense. EMCC quarterback Chad Kelly threw for 3 touchdowns. He has 30 now on the year. Number 2, Iowa Western taking on College of DuPage. Devin Payne scored on a 68-yard touchdown run 61 seconds into the game, and it would be 5 touchdowns later before College of DuPage would get on the board on their way to a 65-27 winner over DuPage. Those stats were very similar. Obviously, the score was not. Zach Martin got his first start of the season, subbing aptly for Tay Bender at quarterback, throwing for 296 yards and 6 touchdowns. Meanwhile, the Reaver defense picked off 4 Zachary Mahoney passes and had 9 tackles for losses. The big upset, number 19, Copiah Lincoln over number 3, Mississippi Gulf Coast. The game began and ended with a bang. Within the first 40 seconds, Copiah Lincoln tried an onside kick. Gulf Coast had a 2-play, 15-second, 48-yard scoring drive. Colin responds with a 96-yard DeQuan Davis kickoff return, and Gulf Coast blocks the extra point try, with Tony Bridges returning at 97 yards for a 2-point defensive conversion. Meanwhile, with 2 minutes to play, Gulf Coast scores, regains the lead. Copiah Lincoln again gets DeQuan Davis, this time 100 yards down the sidelines for a kickoff return as the Wolves upset the Bulldogs by a final of 29-26. Number 4, Trinity Valley over Arkansas Baptist. Trinity Valley scored a whopping 42 points in the second quarter en route to a 59-14 thumping of Arkansas Baptist. The unbeaten Cardinals had more than 300 yards, both in rushing and passing, plus were 9 of 12 in third down conversions. TVCC got 315 yards passing and 4 TDs from Kyle Postma, and Darrell Breedlove ran for 111 yards on 13 carries. They close out the regular season Saturday in Oklahoma. Number 5, Hutchinson taking on Highlands. Hutch had a record-setting first half, defeating Highlands 58-35, running the record against Highland to 19-0 at Gowan Stadium, 31-2 overall. The Blue Dragons clinched a tie for their first Jayhawk Conference football championship since 1995. Blue Dragons broke a record for points in a half, scoring 52, had 385 total yards in the first half, including 324 passing. Also a team record 6 touchdown passes, 4 by Dalton Demos and 2 from Kylan Glenn. Number 6, Scottsdale taking on Mesa. The Fighting Artichokes were led by Zaquan Summers in both rushing and receiving. He finished the night with 104 yards rushing and a TD, had 8 catches for 136 yards and 2 more touchdowns. Columbus Campbell had his second 99-yard interception return for a TD in as many weeks. It was his 3rd pick 6 of the season. The 58-29 win over Mesa ends the Scottsdale regular season and puts them in the driver's seat heading into the playoffs, where they will await the final standings of the WSFL to see who they will face in the first round. Number 7, Snow College taking on Pima College. The Snow College defense held Pima to 26 yards passing, picked off 3 tosses while scoring 73 and compiling 632 yards of total offense to defeat Pima 73-6. The Badgers, winners of 5 straight, finished the year 7-1, with their only loss coming in the 3rd week of the season to now 6th-ranked Scottsdale. Alex Carusa threw for 233 yards and 2 touchdowns. Meanwhile, 6 different runners had 50 yards or more as the Badgers had their highest scoring day of the year. Number 8, Central Lakes taking on Ridgewater. It was another dominating performance by the Raiders as they scored at least 2 touchdowns in every quarter, picked up 37 first downs, had 625 yards of total offense, 2 100-yard rushers, Barry Taylor and Nathan Ashton, and 7 TD passes from 2 different quarterbacks, Jake Faber and Riley Atkinson. A 12-play, 95-yard drive highlighted the 11 Central College scoring drives as the Raiders beat Ridgewater 70-18. Number 9, Nassau, blanking Dean College. Nassau's had some close games this season, but this wasn't one of them. Nassau scored 3:06 into the game on a Mike Richardson to Anthony Cruz 26-yard touchdown pass and never looked back, scoring every quarter on their way to a 38-0 shutout of Dean College. Julian Farinola returned a pick of Nick Roberts' pass, 40 yards for a score, and kicker Jake D'Amelio accounted for 8 points as Nassau recorded their first shutout of the season. Number 10, Arizona Western over Air Force Academy Prep. In his first start, Tremaine McCullough finished the day with 153 yards as Arizona Western shot down the United States Air Force Academy Prep Huskies 34-6. Air Force Academy Prep put their only points on the board at the beginning of the fourth quarter when Jaleel Kuku returned an interception 23 yards to cut the lead to 27-6. Arizona Western College football has finished the regular season at 8-1 overall and begin the Western States Football League playoffs on November 1st. Here's the point of the program where we take a look at a guy who started in the NJCAA and then moved on eventually to the NFL. Let's talk about Terrence Cody, affectionately known as Mount Cody. Played his junior and senior year at the University of Alabama, where he gained renown, so much so that the Baltimore Ravens picked him 57th overall. He was picked in the second round of the 2010 draft. He has 87 tackles as a pro, and he's been very successful at not only the NFL level, but at Alabama as well. However, it all started for him at a junior college. What junior college? We will find out right after the break. At the 36-yard line, Jarvis Hall
awfully close. Kemp wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
Welcome back to the NJCAA Sports Page. Time to take a look at the top 10, how we rank them and how the NJCAA does as well. There's been a little shifting because of that loss by Gulf Coast. Let's take a look. Top matchups involving top 10 teams, there's one big matchup, and that's really all you need. In our polls, it is 2 versus 3. In the NJCAA polls, it's 2 versus 4. Regardless, big one as Iowa Western takes on Hutchinson. Has huge ramifications for the national championship. The team that loses, likely out. The team that wins, they're still in the hunt. That's the big game coming up this weekend. Let's answer that question about Terrence Cody. Playing in the NFL, been hurt this year, had off-season hip surgery, but he should be activated soon, maybe even this weekend. But he started his career playing for the Bulldogs of Mississippi Gulf Coast, where he had 79 tackles, 6 sacks, and drew the attention of the Alabama Crimson Tide. This Saturday, be sure to join JockJive.com. We're in Little Rock, Arkansas, with live coverage of Georgia Military College taking on Arkansas Baptist. Georgia Military still got a shot at a bowl bid, and this game is necessary. You win it, you definitely have a shot. You lose it, and you probably don't. We'll have the coverage for you at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. That's not all we do. Not just Georgia Military, all kinds of sporting events all over the country, shows like this and more. So email us, info@jockjive.com if you'd like JockJive to do production work for you. Speaking of the website, JockJive.com is the place to go to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That does it for this edition of the NJCAA Sports Page. Thanks so much for joining us. For our executive producer, James Crenshaw, Robert Williamson saying, we will see you next week.